As someone who's been using a bloody twin blade for quite some time, I wouldn't mind upgrading to something a bit fancier that lets me twirl around like Darth Maul. Well, the Elden Ring gods have answered my prayers by presenting me with Eleonora's Poleblade, and I'm gonna show you where you can find it too. I'm Jamie Latour, and this is where you can find Eleonora's Poleblade in Elden Ring. To begin your search for this Poleblade, you need to have progressed through the questline for Yura the Bloody Finger Hunter. You know, the guy with the weird soup strainer hat. He can likely be found underneath some ruins near the Seaside Ruins Site of Grace in Limgrave. Then when you travel to Murkwater Cave, you know, the spot where you first encounter Patches, you'll be invaded by some guy named Nereus. Since he hunts these nasty bloody fingers, Yura will show up to help you fend off this attacker. After the fight, you could ride up this ravine to find Yura nearby. Talk to him, and he'll congratulate you on surviving the battle. And make sure you do talk to him here after the Nereus fight, or else the questline won't progress. Now head to the main Academy Gate Site of Grace at Raya Lucaria. Remember how you could just walk past these seals? Well, going past this one will lead you to a red summoning sign on the ground. Interact with that, and it will allow you to assist Yura in a battle he's having with another bloody finger. Help Yura win this fight, and afterwards you'll get the Raptor of the Mist Ash of War. Yura will be nearby, breathing quite heavily. Speak to him, and he'll thank you for your help with a Smithing Stone 5. Thanks for the rock, Yura. He'll then begin talking about a violet bloody finger named Eleonora. I have a sneaking suspicion she may have my Poleblade. Yura wants to find her too, but he warns you that she's pretty damn tough. He even tells you that you should just run away if you encounter her, but man, come on. If I can handle a lobster, I can handle Eleonora. The last spot we need to find is the Second Church of America. The easiest way to get here is to warp to the Altus Highway Junction Site of Grace, and then just head north of that. Just follow the route I'm going right now, riding my horse, just riding my horse, and drop down here. Watch out for the various plague dogs that are lurking around here, and then we can head inside the church, and oh no, our soup strainer boy is hurt. Speak to Yura, and it will become clear that he got his ass handed to him by Eleonora. He soon dies and leaves behind his katana, the Nagakimba, which is actually a pretty good weapon, and a word that I'm fairly positive I'm mispronouncing. Not too long after picking up Yura's katana, Eleonora, the violet bloody finger, invades us, and holy crap is she not fooling around. This is actually a fairly tough fight, as she's very fast, her strikes inflict bleed damage, and she has a bunch of dragon attacks, like this roar and this blast of fire. I was not expecting this fight to go so hard. Just let me kill you so I can have your fancy twin blade, Eleonora. Do your best to avoid her dragon attacks and dodge through her regular attacks, and you should be able to take down this evil lady. Doing so will reward you with the purifying crystal tear and the reason why we're here, Eleonora's Poleblade. After all that murderous work, let's take a look at our fancy new blade. Eleonora's Poleblade requires 12 strength, 21 dexterity, and 19 arcane to wield effectively. It initially scales E with strength and D with dexterity and arcane. If we're looking purely at the numbers, this weapon seems to not have a ton of damage output, but it does a fair amount of physical and fire damage in addition to building up an enemy's bleed gauge. You can't attach a new Ash of War to it, but its weapon art, the Blood Blade Dance, is a pretty fantastic series of quick strikes that also look awesome. I mean, look at this thing in action. I'm like some kind of ballerina who kills people. If you're someone who uses a twin blade, this thing might be worth giving a try. Just be careful when you're using it near explosive barrels, because it does have fire on it, so you might set off a bit of an explosive chain reaction. For more Elden Ring news and guides, be sure to check out thegamer.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.